I'm Sebastien Grainger. One day we just started placing these tube mics, this like stereo pair, kind of low to the ground and close together, not too spread out, and super compressed, and that was kind of like the guts of a lot of the drums. And when I went to I went to Montreal to do a lot of the drums in the record, and had some engineers there that ran a studio. They run a studio called Mountain City Records in Mountain City Studios in Montreal, and I'm a total amateur. I approach it as an amateur, kind of as an outsider. So when you're telling proper engineers how you think something should be done, it's always, you have to be very cautious when you're doing that. I'm like, how about we point the overheads, both of them directly at the snare drum, and one over my shoulder and one facing me, and like little things like that. Actually, the stereo pair that we had in the studio are this cheap like Apex pair of tube mics. And they're not very expensive, and they're not super great, but put through the right outboard gear and treated in the proper way, they're super effective mics. A lot of the time when I'm recording drums, I'll kind of minimize the kit, so I'll only have maybe one cymbal, one crash ride cymbal, have the hats. I won't even mic them, and I'll do bottom snare, top snare, inside kick, a room mic, and a mic basically right over the kick drum. So I'll have like a condenser or a tube mic like sitting kind of like on a boom stand that is right over the kick, that'll pick up kind of like the vibe of the kit. It'll pick up whatever's coming out from the kick drum. It'll pick up a crazy amount of snare, and if you have it positioned right, it'll get a nice amount of cymbals in it and good hi-hat. And a lot of time I'll use that mic position as the main mic in the mix.